Good morning, children. Today, let's do a quick recap of last week's lesson.
Last week, what did we learn? We
Learned about Python functions.
correct. Okay. Now, someone tell me what are the types of Python functions? There are 4 type of Python functions, miss. They are lambda, recursive, built-in, user. Good. Someone tell me what is called as block and nested block.
Block is one or more lines of coding. If we use too many looping statements together, they are called as nested block.
Very good. Now, someone tell me what are called as arguments. When we pass a value to a function, they are called as arguments. Good. Clap, children. Very good. You learnt it. Okay. Now, the last question is what are the types of functional arguments?
There are 4 types of functional arguments. They are variable length, required length, keywords, and then the last one is user defined.
Good children, very good. Give a clap for yourself. I appreciate your learning. Let's move into the lesson. Good morning children. Today in computer science we are going to see about Python functions. Hope you all are safe. Welcome back to this class. Okay, so now in Python functions already we saw about 4 types of functions. Now we are going to see them in detail. Okay, so the first part is called as the user defined function. Second one is the built-in function. Third one is lambda function. And then fourth one is the recursive function. Okay, we already saw about the user defined function. So now we are going to see about built-in, lambda, and then the recursive function. Let's see built-in function in detail. What is built-in function? When the system built a function by itself, it's called as a built-in function. Let's see them one by one. Okay. So first ABS. ABS is an absolute value function. And ORD. What is ORD? It returns the ASCII value of the computer. That is called as the ORD. For example, C is equal to small a. The small a value is 97 and capital A value is 65. Already we have learnt in C programming language. It returns the ASCII value, that is called as ORD. And then CHR. What is CHR? CHR function returns the alphabet, that is the ASCII alphabet for the number. So C is equal to 65, D is equal to 43. So 65, the alphabet is A, and for 43, the alphabet, that is the operator, is plus. And what is BIN? BIN returns the binary value, that is the BIN. And next we are going to get into the next type of function. What is next type of function? The next type of function is type. What is called as type? It returns the type of object for the given single object. Okay. Note this function is used for single object. That is the use of type function. And then type function returns what is the value given. For example, if it is 15.2, it returns it is a float value. And then a, small a, it represents the string. And then true or false. You already know true or false is an what value? Yes, it's a Boolean value. And then ID. What is ID? So ID returns the memory address that is located in the computer. That is called as I and then D. Next thing is minimum. Out of this list, what is the minimum value? That would be displayed. And then maximum. Out of the list, what is the maximum value? That value will be displayed. That is the use of minimum and then maximum. Already we learnt about my list in the earlier classes. Okay. Next we get into the, again we are going to see about built-in functions. We have few more to deal with it. And the format. What is called as format here? Format means it returns the value according to either it is a binary or an octal or a float or a fixed value. If you see, for example, x is equal to 14, y is equal to 25, 14 value, if you take the format xb, b denotes the binary, yes, correct, and then o denotes the octal, yes, right, and then f denotes the fixed point, yes children, you are right. And then next thing is round. You already know what is round. It rounds off and gives the value. For example, if it is 17.9, it rounds off the value and give you the correct value. For example, 17.9 will be displayed as 17. So that is the round off value. Next we are going to see few more functions. Okay, so power function. What is the use of power function? When we are combining 5, 2, for example, a is equal to 5 and then b is equal to 2. We are going to combine both. So that is called as 5 into 2. What will be the happen? So 2 times the 5 will be multiplied. So the output would be 25. This is called as the power of function. This is all about built-in functions. And next to built-in functions, we will move into mathematical functions. So what are mathematical functions? When we import the math library or the header file, here the mathematical functions will be used. So for example, floor. Whenever you are using floor or ceil, you will see it later. So we have to use math in front. So math.floor, math.ceil, math.square root. So what is math.floor? It returns the largest integer less than or equal to x. For example, x is equal to 26.7. So what would be the output? Just guess. Yeah, 26, because it is the less than or equal to. Y is minus 26.7. What will happen? It will be increased. Minus 27, because it's the largest integer. And then x is minus 23.2. So minus 23.2, what will happen? Here minus 24, because it's largest. Okay, then we are going to see about now ceil. What is ceil? The ceil function, it's quite opposite to the, yes, floor function. Okay, so now math.ceil, x is 26.7, y is equal to minus 26.7, z is minus 23. What will happen here? So 27, why it's displayed as 27? Because it's the smallest integer greater than or equal to x. So here it is displayed as 27 minus 26 minus 23. There it says it is lesser than and the largest value, but here it is the smallest integer greater than or equal to x. Okay, square root. You all are aware of square root. So when we give square root, math.square root is given and a square root value will be printed. This is all about mathematical functions. Then what is the next function? Lambda function. Can you guess what is a lambda function, children? Yes, lambda function can take any number of arguments and return only one value in form of any expression. Whatever expression it may be, but it returns one value in form of expression. We will see an example so that you will get a clear idea about what is lambda function. Okay, what is an anonymous function? In Python, anonymous function is a function which is defined without any name. So if a function is undefined without any name, that is called as, yeah, right, that is called as anonymous function. So what is the use of lambda or anonymous function? It is mostly used for creating small one-time anonymous function, and it's mainly used to combine with the functions like filter, map and then reduce. These are the three types of function that holds the lambda or anonymous function. Without a name is called as an anonymous function. Good. Okay. Now the next thing is syntax. Let's see the syntax of an anonymous function. So lambda, both are same. Lambda, argument yes and then expression. What is an example given here? Sum is equal to lambda argument 1, argument 2. The sum is sum of 30, 40. These are the two type of arguments. And here the print sum is minus 30, 40. Output is 70. Here the sum is 10. The above lambda function adds the argument 1 with the argument 2. So it adds the argument 1 with the argument 2 and then gives us the output. This is about anonymous function syntax. Okay, next we are going to see about scope variable. You already know what is scope variable. Can you recall and tell me, children, what is scope variable? Yes, there are 4 types of scope that we learnt in chapter 2. What are the 4 types of scope? Yes, built-in, enclosed, local, global. So local scope, it is only within the function. The local scope variable is only within the function, and global variable is throughout the main program. See here, throughout the main program, and for global variable it's only inside the function. Let's see an example to get a clear idea. So what is a local variable? We will see an example for a local variable. So see here, this is def. Always you have to use def. Y0, this is local scope because it is defined within the function, and accessing local variable inside or outside the scope. Y is equal to local, print Y. What will happen in the program now? When we run the above code, the output shows the following error. Why it shows an error? Yes, the above error occurs because we are trying to access a variable Y in a global scope. This Y is declared here as local, but what will happen? It is declared here as a local scope outside the function. So what has happened? Error will be displayed as Y is not defined. So once we define the Y here, you will be getting the output. It's within a function that is called as local variable. Now we are going to see an example for an global variable. Yes. So the difference is here C is equal to 1, def add, print C, add. So here the output will be displayed. What happens here? This C is declared outside. Here this Y is declared inside a function. So that's the difference between global and local variable. Now we will see an example where the global and local variable is both are used together. See this example here. You can identify easily. This X is defined outside a function. So it is a global variable. So here this Y is declared inside this def. So this is called as a local variable. Print X, print Y. So here 16 and the local string value is printed in Y. So that's the difference between global and then local variable. Correct. Okay. So then we move into the next thing called as composition in function. So what is composition in function? The value returned by a function. For example, a function is returning a value. That value is used as an argument in another function. So that is called as what? Composition function. See an example here. They are using an input function. Yes. And then enter a number 234 and then the number is printed whatever the user is given. And then N2 evaluating. What is evaluating? We are going to process something. So enter an expression. The user is entering an expression and the output is given as 38 by calculating it. So this is how the value passed as one function becomes the input for the other function. That is called as composition in functions. The last function is called as recursive function. So what is recursive function? When a function calls by itself is known as recursive function. When a function is calling by itself, it is known as recursive function. and the condition applied in the recursive function becomes as the base condition for the program. So this is called as a recursive function. We will just look into an example for the recursive function. Here is an example for recursive function to calculate factorial. See here, def fact of n is equal to 0, return 1, else return n asterisk fact n minus 1. Print fact of 0, print fact of 5. Output 1 and then 120. So 5 times it's printing, so we are getting the value 120. The same logic that we applied for C programming. Okay, this is all about the lesson today, children. I hope you understood the lesson. I am doing a quick recall on this. So first we learned about user defined in the last class. Today we learned about lambda, recursive, composition in functions, and then local variable, global variable. Okay, so the function which is repeated by itself is recursive function, and then we saw about built-in function and then mathematical function. Thank you, children. Hope you understood the lesson. Just go through the lesson and take up your test. Wish you a happy learning. Stay safe at home. Thank you. Have a great day.